So before we go multiplying this, you're going to drive yourself nuts. It's easier if you just go ahead and factor it right away. So I'm going to factor this first binomial. So it's 3x. And what's left is going to be 1 minus x. And then that's also multiplied by, I'm going to factor the trinomial. What two numbers multiply to negative 20 and add to positive 1? It's going to be positive 5 and negative 4. Now let's look at the denominator. Again, what two numbers multiply to negative 5 and add to positive 4? It's going to be negative 5 and 1, and then this is going to be 3x. All right, let's change colors here. I love this part, is dividing everything out. Now, when you divide things out, I want you to also realize those are going to be your excluded values. So as you do them, you might want to just go ahead and start writing them out. So x cannot equal 0 here because 3 times 0 makes that 0. Okay, there's my first excluded value. Next one, we're going to do, where am I? We're going to do x. Now you're looking at them and you're looking at x plus 5. And down here, we see that it's, oh, I wrote my numbers wrong. Let's go back. I just realized this is not correct. It's all right. This is going to be x plus 5, and that's x minus 1. Yikes. I realized something was wrong there. That's all right. When I check it, which I always tell you guys to do, you're going to check your smile, right? And that's negative 1x, and that makes positive, which is correct. It was wrong before. Okay, now we can continue to divide out. We're going to divide out these two right here. And then you're going to see that there is these two look exactly very close to each other, x minus 1 and 1 minus x. So to switch these two, we can switch them, but you have to divide out a negative 1. So I'm going to take out a negative 1 from the numerator. When I divide out negative 1, it becomes x minus 1. And then we finish it, x minus 4 over, right, x minus 1. I forgot to include the excluded value. So the excluded value for the x plus 5 is x cannot equal negative 5. All right, so now we have our last excluded value here. X cannot equal positive 1. And what we have left is negative, I'm going to distribute the negative 1, right? So it's going to be negative 1 times x is going to be negative x. Negative 1 times 4 is going to be positive 4. So you can leave it like that, or you can leave it, you can switch it and have it be 4 minus x. Either one is the correct answer. Make sure you're factoring correctly. Wow, so easy to make a mistake there. All right, let's try this one now. So we're going to multiply, and it doesn't have, it's not a fraction, but it is a fraction. So I always tell kids to just go ahead and put a 1 under there. Okay, let's start factoring this. And then we're going to say what two numbers, right, multiply to 9 and add to 3. You realize, oh my gosh, you can't. There are no two numbers. So I'm going to leave that be. Okay, this one is a tricky one. Okay, that's the difference of cubes. Datka and Sakai, you remember that? So it's going to be a binomial times a trinomial. The binomial is going to be the cube root of x. cubed, which is x, the cube root of negative 27, which is negative 3. So it's going to be a and b. Then it's going to be a squared, right, 1x squared. It's going to be b squared. It's going to be ab here in the middle. And if you remember the signs, it was SOAP. Same, opposite, always positive. So since this is a negative, same, opposite, always positive. Okay, now we can see we have a trinomial and a trinomial that are exactly the same. Those two cancel out. And you are left with x plus 2 over x minus 3. All right, we got a bunch of practice problems. I'm going to have you pause the video and do them on your